Hey everybody, One of Wisdom here, 2:40 a.m. early Tuesday morning, September 23rd. As you can see, we have got Sprocket. Believe it or not, this is actually Silver Sprocket on the in the power pod, I should say. And what I want to do is actually take standard heavy-duty Sprocket. They're both obviously in the tank. The difference being color change on the figure only. It's not an in-game variant, if you will, on Silver Sprocket. And as such, since it'll match the game, I want standard heavy-duty Sprocket to go down to Gearhead, and that means we're going to select the operator path for heavy-duty Sprocket. Now, fear not, when we do standard Sprocket, I'll take you through all four of these, and actually, I could do it now, and then we could just buy them. No, I'll do it then. I'll just stick to my guns now. First upgrade here with Sprocket combos down the operator path, which again, or gearhead path I should say, is 1088. That's with my full discount. Press YY hold A for power surge. Press YY hold X for Mines of Plenty. Next up, we have Monkey Wrench for 1408. Better wrench, does increase damage. Obviously, she steps up from like a, double-sided crescent wrench to a monkey wrench. So, if you've ever held a monkey wrench, you would know that swinging it at someone would do more damage. So, you know what? Let's wait on that because I want to see how many she can toss. In the event that changes. Now, standard attack, the wrench whack, she was doing 30 to 45. That should change here, and it has. She's going to be doing 36. If we ever saw a critical number, it would be 54. Wait a second. Do they have a misprint there? I'll have to check something in a second. But 36 to 54. And then Monkey Wrench, I'm sorry, that was the wrong line. So Monkey Wrench is 36 to 54, and then Sprocket combos. We're going to do YYA for the power surge. So let's kind of spy-rise-ish. Let's see if we can figure that one out. That's 55, I think. Yeah, let's try to take a look at that from this angle where you can see it better. So kind of a deal, she just, brings her arm over her shoulder in a rotation and does 55 to half of that would be 28, which would be 83. That's significant damage from that. So Sprocket combos 55 to 83 for power surge, and then Mines of Plenty, you hold attack 3, and we'll see what it does.
Something for you.
Nothing. Okay, press YY. I was thinking that's why it would have to be combo.
Nice. Alright,
so that looked to throw the 5, which is the maximum number she can have active. So let's do that closer to the dummy and make sure the damage number is the same. So YY hold X. There's our 5, and then 50 to 75. So, Mines, I'm not going to put the full name because that's a long deal, so I'll just put 5 mines tossed and 50 to 75 damage. So now we need to go in and check out all mines. I think I'll finish upgrading her here. Alright, so all mines for 1920. Sprocket can now deploy 3 bouncing Betty mines at once. Prior to that, she was doing 1 at a time, but she could have 5 active. So we'll keep that in mind as we select this. Next up, we're actually going to go ahead and buy her soul gem here. It's called Landmine Golf. I thought it was kind of cool in Giants. 25.60 is the price for the discount. Facing a mine, press Y to send it flying towards enemies. So we're going to do just that. And lastly, we've got the Wipeout. Tanks for the new toy. Appreciate the punniness there. 3200. While driving a tank, hold A to fire a Tesla cannon. Turrets and tanks do increase damage. So this is like a trifecta of a Wipeout, so that'll be much appreciated. And I wasn't gonna check it out, but I might actually, just in the event that the damage numbers might be different depending on the path you take. So, what we're gonna do now, we picked up all mines. She can now deploy 3 bouncing Betty mines at once. So let's tap X. There's 3. As you can see there, the middle one went away, so we can still only have 5 active. But being able to chuck the 3 out there is super nice. Again, still going to be 50 to 75. So 3, toss 3 mines at once, and then 50 to 75. Landmine golf, the way this works, you basically chuck out 1, or in the case of this path, 3 mines, and then you press the wrench, and you can do that. I think it does more damage, don't hold me to that, let's check. 100, yeah. Great range too, which is very cool. It's just a matter of hitting things, which we're so close to doing.
Oh yeah!
I think that hit one that was 100. So 65. I don't know how that didn't hit.
Something for you.
This may be something to do with the closeness or proximity. 65, half of that would be 32.5, which would be 33, which would be 98. So 65 to 98. We'll say 65 to 98 hit mines at enemies. So that should make sense to you. And now again, the Wipeout, I kind of was going to hold off on it, but the other path should upgrade the tanks, and I want to see what the discrepancy, if any, is. So while driving a tank, hold attack 2 to fire a Tesla cannon. Catch is, turrets and tanks do increase damage. You can have 2 active at once just from base upgrades. The turrets were doing 10 to 15 damage, so let's go ahead and fire one up. Still 4 seconds to build, and then 11 to 17, so 11, half of that in this game would be 6, so that's correct. So turrets are going to do 11 to 17. It doesn't say anything about increased HP, so that thing should run roughly like 23 seconds, 22, 23 seconds, which it appears is what it did. Now, when you are in a tank, in addition to us being able to shoot at 11 to 17, we can actually come in and run over stuff or hit things, and I was doing 8 to 12 damage. That should have increased. So let's go ahead and 4 seconds there. Then we're going to hop in. And I just want to see what we hit. 8 to 12, so it's not doing increased damage in my opinion. Now granted, wow, the shots definitely are. That's interesting because we were not doing this earlier. 28 to 42. Tank
if I build it, it
hits 8 to 12, which literally that's like run over, and then tank shoots 28 to 42. And now the question is, of course, is what is the Tesla cannon going to do, and does it destroy the tank? So there's our little setup there. We're gonna hop in this bad boy. And
there we go. You got the right tool for the job.
Okay, so you must have to charge this thing. Yeah, hold 2 to fire it. Okay, so it's like a 5-second charge. And then it shoots automatically. So let's see if we can make contact here. 132. That ain't bad. One more, please. 132. That must be the standard number. Let's check this again.
Yeah. If I build it, it will shoot.
So great range, and then 132 appears to be the standard number. Seriously. So half of that would be, let me actually put Tesla cannon, 132. That would be 66, so that would be 198 if you ever saw a critical number there. pretty impressive, you have to admit. So, a couple things I want to check out though, and again, the catch is, whenever I hop in here, she's still hitting things at 8 to 12, which is what you're doing in the base upgrade. So, when you hop out, does it do damage? Not really. So, let's go ahead and pull Silver Sprocket. Again, I know you can't tell that's Silver Sprocket. Trust me, it is. It'll say special. And I've got to actually stand up and physically get this chick. She was sitting on the Xbox. Yes, I am still recording this from the Wii U. This is Heavy Duty Sprocket, her Series 2 form, brand new Tech Newlander from Giants. And just to walk you through everything, she's box stock. Her range whack is doing 30 to 45. The turret gun, basically 5 seconds to build this thing, and then it's going to shoot off 7 to 11. I can't hop it. Actually, you can. And then you press Y to fire. Catch here, it's a single shot, and the turret has really, really low HP, which I know that's not something that you can assess here, because I could just spin in this for hours on end. But, you know, if you had even garden variety greebles or chompies and you couldn't kill them, say they came up from behind you, you'd basically be out of the turret. So keep that in mind. That's what she looks like, box stock. And we'll come in here and get her going. Alright, so Auto Turret V2, or version 2 for 320. Turret Gun-O-Matic deals increased damage and has more HP. Again, has more HP, seems lame. That's actually a good thing. You also go from like a 5-second build time to a 4-second build time. I don't know that that matters to anyone, but it was a perceived difference to me. You're going to do 10 to 15 damage. If you just leave the turret running, it's going to do run for about 23 seconds. If you hop in it and you never take damage, you could literally sit in it all day, at least as far as I know. I've only messed with it for like a couple of minutes. So, that said, Bouncing Betty Mines, I actually really like her tertiary attack. 448 is the price. Press X to toss mines that explode when enemies are near. You can have 5 of these active. Now the catch is right now you throw them one at a time. Damage will be 50 to 75. Next up, we have 2 times the turrets for 576. You can have 2 turrets active at once, so that's pretty much what that means. No increase in damage, no increase in HP for the turrets. Still doing 10 to 15 damage. Tanks a lot, 768. When climbing inside a turret, it transforms into a drivable assault tank. So we'll go ahead and buy that. And before we showcase anything, I will highlight these paths for you. I'm sorry I screwed that up. Now this is what always struck me as wrong. And it's like that here, it's just it threw me off because it was different in the strategy guide. The operator path to me should be the tank, because you're operating a tank or a turret. And then the gearhead path should be the one that has, you know, like a arc from your welding glove hand, 5 mines that you've crafted, the hockey, and then of course a monkey wrench. That to me is more gearhead, and this is more operator. They didn't change it, they left it like this, so that's what it is. But if I butchered that earlier, my apologies. But we're going to back out here. I want to showcase these base upgrades for you. Interestingly enough, the wrench whack gets no upgrades in the base. You're still going to be doing the 30 to 45. If you come in and you do the Bouncing Betty Mines, you can chuck one. It'll blow up and do 50 to 75, but check this out. I'll come over here where you can see them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now when I throw this one, the first one went away. You can have 5 of them active. 2 times the turrets. There's turret number 1. There's turret number 2. I can actually hop in one of them if I'm so inclined. So she's now shooting 25 to 38. So that's I guess I did have that documented last time. And then if I hit things, 8 to 12. So keep that one in mind. The turrets themselves actually do 10 to 15 still. But when you bail out, you can set the turret up. Just to double check here for you, you'll see the 10 to 15. So big increase if you actually get in there and shoot the guns yourself. Now, I believe we've covered everything, and we're going to come in and we're actually going to take Gearhead, even though I think it should be Operator. I don't know if they think she's a Gearhead because she's in the tank. To me, Operator ties in more with tank still, even though you'd associate a Gearhead, you know, working on and hot rodding the car. Still with the tank, I just think of Operator, and I also don't know how Operator ties in with the top path. So, there's that. But nonetheless, we're going to take the bottom path. I might just refer to it as that. And further develop Sprocket's turret and tank ability. So we're going to select that. We're sure. And we're going to cycle over here. Now, first thing we get for 1088 is called Mine Drop. While driving the tank, press X to drop mines out of the back. This is reminiscent of Boomer. While he's running around, you can drop stuff. And it's actually pretty dadgum effective. So we're going to pick that up. This next one shouldn't impact it. Exploding shells for 1408. Turret and tank shells now explode on contact, doing extra damage. Let's go ahead and grab that. And lastly, I believe we can get this one too. Self-Destruct System for 1920. When a turret or tank expires, it detonates and damages anything nearby. So let's go ahead and select that. You know what? We'll just go ahead and max her out right here and then document everything. So landmine golf, you know the drill here. We can hit the mines. They do 65 to 98. It's a lot of fun. Not very accurate, but fun. Same arguments can be made for the Wipeout, which we'll actually wait on, just so we don't skew anything. So we're going to run out here. We're going to actually set up a turret and see what it does.
Deal with this.
So we're 12 to 18. So we're going to come in exploding shells 12 to 18. And now the question is, I'm assuming that the tank doing 25 to 38 should also function in that manner. So yeah, 30 to 45 will be the numbers there. 12 to 18 turret, 30 to 45 tank. Let's see what happens when we run over stuff. Still 8 to 12. And then what I want to do now is just actually let this thing blow up and see what kind of damage we get. It's coming eventually. 75, that's pretty salty. Now the question is, was that critical or standard? We're going to find out by doing it again. And so we're going to set up our turrets. We'll actually set up 2 of them. And I'll hop in this guy.
Something for you.
Okay, and now I'm going to drop the mines out the back.
Oh yeah.
Mines are still going to be 50 to 75, probably limited to 3. That looked like 75 on the explosion there too. So that would actually be pretty cool, because then the critical number, if you ever get one, would be much higher. Maybe if you play around with multipliers and things, you can play around. And I guess I could actually, let's do that. I'm just going to bail on it. 75, okay, so I don't know why I didn't think that I could bail on it and get it to do that, but you can if you're in the tank and you just need to do quick damage of 75, just jump out of it. Again, I do this, it's 3 in the morning exactly right now, so work with me. But 75, ooh, wrong line. So exploding shells was 12 to 18 from the turret, 30 to 45 from the tank. Self-Destruct System is going to be 75 to 113, I guess, if you had a critical. Mine Drop is going to be 50 to 75. Sadly, no increase there. Landmine Golf, you've seen that. Now we're just going to go by the Wipeout. And I don't guess. Actually, this is where I thought there might be some issues. We're going to get it. When driving the tank, you can hold A to fire the Tesla cannon, but then the catch is the turrets and tank do increased damage. So when you take the gearhead path, or the one, I'm sorry, the operator path, again I think they should be named differently, you don't ever do any increased damage from your base upgrades in regards to the turrets and the tanks. Basically, the turrets max out at 10 to 15, and then the tank 25 to 38, whereas they've jumped 12 to 18 with the exploding shells and 30 to 45 when you shoot the tank. So now what I want to see is what the Wipeout does for this path. So let's go ahead and get in here.
Deal with this.
You can tell it's golden too, that's the aesthetic change. So let's hit something first. 8. Let's put a mine out. 50. Now let's shoot. 33. So if we ever had a critical number there, I'll figure it out later, but let's just jump out of this thing.
Oh yeah.
So 75 still there, so turrets, not gonna fill that out just yet. Tank is going to be 33. Fractions of that would be 17, so it'd be 50. 33 to 50. Let's check out a turret now, see what it does. Alright, so it's going to do 13. Yeah, so 13 to 20. Click in here. Tank 33 to 50. The Tesla cannon was doing 132 to 198. I'll actually build another one.
It's building time.
Hop in here, and I'm going to fire the Tesla cannon.
Gear up for battle.
132. Yeah, that's actually the best I've ever done with it. You can see it's got good range. It can hit multiple enemies. So that is the same. So the issue here with Sprocket that you'll want to pay attention to, I'm actually going to take the tank hits out of there because that's not a big deal. So what I'll do is under the Wipeout, we're going to come in and I will put
I'm out.
Gearhead. The turrets are doing 11 to 17 and the tank 80 to 42. Then for operator, I'm sorry. God, see, to me, those paths have just been wrong. The path names have been very wrong. So Gearhead is going to be turrets 13 to 20, and then the tank 33 to 50. Coming up, the operator path is turrets 11 to 17, and the tank 28 to 42. So again, I always cross those because it just doesn't seem right to me. Now I'm going to move the Tesla cannon, move that up, maybe. There we go. Alright, I've got that documented like I want it now. Again, I don't agree with the path names, but pretty decent. I mean, it really comes down to personal preference with Sprocket, how well you prefer the tank. I haven't used the tank much, for the simple fact the turrets were always a little disappointing to me. It doesn't hurt to have them active and to accent what you're doing, distract enemies, but I kind of like your primary steps, and then of course coming in and going with the quote-unquote operator. Just because you upgrade the wrench, you get the combos. If you're like firing stuff off quick, the 5 mines active is great. If you standard do it, you get 3 and you can landmine golf them. Plus the Wipeout, you're going to step up your damage that you previously only had access to with the Gearhead path. That said, if you go the other routes, you're looking at basically what it comes down to. The difference between the paths and the Wipeout. If you take, advantage of like your primary and tertiary path, you're going to be doing 11 to 17 and 28 to 42 with the tank and the Wipeout. If you go with the tank path, which I'm just going to refer to them that way so I don't butcher the names anymore, you're going to be doing 13 to 20, so an increase of +2 +3, and with the tank it's an increase from 28 to 33 and 42 to 50, so +5 +8, and the Tesla cannon remains the same. So that is that. I personally, again, I kind of like the operator or the wrench path, as I'll call it. Basically it should be wrench and tank in my opinion, based on this. But Wipeout is actually pretty cool because you get a very powerful attack and then you get increased damage from you know, your turrets and your tank. So that's kind of like I said at the start, a 3-for-1 type deal. So I can't argue with that. Again, this one, Sprocket, really comes down to personal preference. The path, not really one of them stands out above the other one. It just comes down to how you prefer to play her, and that's the route I would take. So that said, we're done with this. I'm going to come in and we're going to now enter the Undead Upgrade. So we'll do some Chop Chop and Cinder. Been looking forward to seeing their Wipeout, so excited about that. But once again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned and I will catch you back here as we continue our upgrades.